Alrighty, how's everyone doing? Finally getting the stream up. It's been a while since we've been streaming. Haven't gone live in a little bit here, so I don't know why my Wi-Fi was absolutely tripping out. I already saw the comments. I let you guys know, running a little bit late, but it was freaking out. I'm not even recording on my computer right now. I'm on my phone, so hopefully it sounds okay. Mike's here with me. Let me get this going. I got Isaac in the backstage right now. He's about to join up. Um, but
I
yeah,
think your
Mike's a
bad
Cubs
Wi-Fi is
fan.
a good omen for tomorrow. I think it's a good omen for me for tomorrow. It's a sign of things to
Yeah,
come.
I hope not, man. All right, here we go. We got Isaac in here too. We've had Mike on before. It's definitely been a little while, Mike. I feel like, I mean, honestly, the Padres haven't really played the Cubs in any like important series.
Yeah, we
I
played like
mean,
April this year. It
ever.
wasn't like anything crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Cubs have. I mean, dude, I didn't realize it until I started kind of looking into it. I didn't realize the Cubs hadn't made the playoffs since COVID. It's been some
Well,
time.
we haven't
Well,
made the playoffs in a
what about before
non-COVID
that?
year since 2018. Like it's been
Oh,
7 years since
okay.
the Cubs have made a playoff game in a non-shortened season. So to say this is a
Yeah,
long time coming, I mean, it's the biggest game we've had in 7 years tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited. I know you guys are used to going to playoffs every year, going to the championship series, losing to the Dodgers, all that, right? But I just think that for the Cubs, this is like kind of the start of a new chapter. So I'm very, very excited for that.
yeah, a new chapter where Kyle Tucker's gonna walk in free agency right after
Hey, we
a
got
first
Owen
round
Casey waiting
exit.
in the wings. Thank you guys for him, by the way. Thank you guys for Owen Casey. We got him waiting in the wings just in case.
That's from the Darvish trade, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Darvish. Yep.
Darvish trade.
Yep.
It's kind of
Owen
crazy.
Casey's going to take Darvish deep in Game 3. I can see it now. That's the vision. That's what's going to happen.
Dude, it's kind of crazy, like, cause like that trade is like definitely a win-win. But it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy, like how long it takes for the prospects to hit. I mean, it depends
Yeah.
on the trades too, right?
Yeah.
Like it definitely does. But it is crazy to see like how long it takes for these guys to hit.
Well, he was 17, I think, when you traded him to us. So it was like this
Yeah,
guy's going to just be
exactly.
chilling for like 4 to 5 years, not doing anything. And then even this year, like he played like 30, 40 games. Like he played like a quarter season even. So we're even not still to his kind of full breakout yet. But I was encouraged by what I saw this year. I think he'll be really good. Hopefully he's not the everyday right fielder next year. But knowing the Ricketts family, that might be the case, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, Isaac. I don't know if you're seeing the chat right now, dude. You're not Adrian Morejon anymore. You're Tirso Ornelas. You see this?
Dude, I guess I'm a mix of both. They must have had a baby.
Yeah, that's you, bro. Isaac. Yeah, dude. You've got Morejon for so long, where that's always been the guy that is
Oh,
discussed
dude.
for you.
Without a hat, it's
Um,
like totally different.
Yeah, dude, that's what it is.
Totally
That's what's
different.
funny. But with the hat, I feel like
Oh,
there
I
is.
see it for sure. I see it 100%.
Yeah. All right, let's get into this stuff, dude. Let's get in. I see we got some people in. We haven't really been streaming too much. People are asking if we're gonna go live. I think I want to keep going live. I mean, hopefully we get a deep playoff run. It's always the most fun time.
Yes.
Um,
Go ahead,
Get him in now, Matt. That's all I'll say. Get him in now.
Look, I mean, the thing with October baseball, man, it's the coolest thing, right? Like, your season could be over on Thursday. Your season could be over in a month. It's so crazy to me because, like, it's a really wild ride. Your anxiety. October baseball is the most anxiety-ridden baseball. Honestly, in my opinion, the most anxiety-ridden postseason of any sport.
yeah.
I've never had this much stress watching playoff football. When I was a kid, I would watch playoff basketball. I've never had as much stress as I do watching playoff baseball. So the stress could end on Thursday, or the stress could end pretty damn close to November. I mean, we'll see how it goes, man. It's going to be fun. The Cubs are a good team. I know they got Matthew Boyd going first. I want to say it's Boyd, Imanaga, and who would the third be?
So Craig Counsell came out today and said that they will not announce a Game 2 or Game 3 starter. He's sticking with Boyd for Game 1, and then after Game 1, they're going to talk to him. They're going to talk about it. It's going to be Shota. Like, I feel like that's kind of the overwhelming consensus that it will be Shota. Although it is interesting, lefty. If you guys crush us tomorrow with Boyd, I would see an avenue for where they might want to put in Colin Ray to be like the opener. That's kind of been Craig's MO this year, is he likes that little opener, 1 to 2 innings, get through the heart of your lineup, get through Nando, get through Merrill, hopefully with minimal damage, and then Shota can go, 4 or 5 innings bulk. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go with an opener on Wednesday's game. But obviously, why don't we just mitigate all that stress and just have Boyd shove, and then you could just throw Shoton on Wednesday and hopefully feel good about it, even though he has struggled a lot as of late, and he specifically struggled with the homers. And I know you guys. I know Wrigley is.
I was gonna say that's the interesting thing about this matchup to me is like, because the Cubs, like, you guys you're not throwing guys that are like hot. Like, no one's really pitching the best they've pitched. Like, they're all kind of slumping.
We have somebody. His name's Cade Horton.
Cade Horton.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Who fractured his rib coughing. Yeah.
Coughing. Dude, he blew his rib.
That's what happened?
That's how he blew his rib.
He got sick, and he was coughing the whole week, and it fractured a rib. Yeah. Also, there's a conspiracy
I didn't see that.
Around.
I knew he was out.
There's a conspiracy going around that they partied a little too hard when they were popping the champagne when they made the playoffs. You didn't hear that from me, but between those two factors, yeah, he fractured a rib, and he couldn't kind of ramp it up when he was trying to throw. So again, we do have a guy that's throwing hot. He's been awesome since the All-Star break. He will not be playing.
Yeah.
This week. That's the unfortunate thing for the Cubs. I will say, in Boyd and Shota's defense, right?
Yeah.
People outside of Chicago don't realize how big of a factor the weather is, right? All year it's been a factor. And for the majority of the year, the wind has been blowing in off the lake. That wind is very, very strong, right? The last several weeks, the wind's been blowing out. Balls that have been, routine flyouts are leaving the park now. And for a guy like Shota, who's a fly ball pitcher, that's not a good combination. Supposedly, meteorologists are saying the wind is supposed to be blowing in slightly these next couple of days. And again, you might think that's such a minute thing, but at Wrigley, it really does matter. Like the direction of the wind coming off the lake really, really matters, especially with a guy like Shota. So I will remain somewhat optimistic. But, I mean, his command hasn't looked good. He's never really going to have the most velo. He really needs to get you with that sharp command, that elevated fastball, right? That splitter. Hasn't been there. Guys are hitting it. The guys are hitting it hard. And it's leaving the yard. So that is what we're going to try to avoid against the Padres, obviously. If he's starting, which I think he will on Wednesday.
Yeah. I would be, dude. I think you're right. I think it's him.
It'll be him.
But obviously, you guys losing him is, right? It's got to be him. Also, that's a very interesting point too, because Isaac and I were talking. We were texting before when we were talking about like, okay, how important is it for this team, to get the bye, right? Or not to get the bye, sorry, to get the home field advantage, right? Like once it was clear, like they're not gonna win the division, and even before they were gonna win the division, it was like, okay, it's clear they're not gonna get the bye, because that was like the biggest thing, like throughout the stretch was like, can you get the bye? The bye is obviously super important.
Right.
But with the weather, we were talking about like, dude, I would feel a lot more comfortable, like so much more comfortable playing the Cubs if it's in Petco, just because that when teams like when you play in Petco, it's such like it nerfs the bats so hard, like it really does.
Wrigley is typically they say, oh, it's hitter friendly. Well, it's hitter friendly when the wind's blowing out, when that you're getting all that assist from the wind. When the wind's blowing in, it's as hard to hit it out of Wrigley as it is in a lot of other parks. Obviously, I know there's a short porch and everything. You mentioned, Matt, having home field. I think this is huge for the Cubs. Cubs 50-31 at home, 42-39 away. Now, 2 of those home games were technically not home games. They were the 2 that we played in Tokyo against the Dodgers. So for all intents and purposes, the Cubs are 50-29 at home. That is damn good.
Pretty insane.
That's damn good.
That is pretty insane.
That's kind of the advantage that Wrigley has over a lot of those other ballparks. Is I think the Cubs, Boyd specifically, plays his best ball at Wrigley. So I think it was huge the fact that we got home field, even though we haven't been playing our best down the stretch.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true, dude. I mean, I don't know. I wonder, like, I saw a couple comments here. I want to start getting into them. Okay, one thing before we get into anything, and this is, I think, good because obviously game 1 is tomorrow. Might I note, at the fucking stupidest time in the world, I have to record.
208 is so dumb, dude. We need to play 120 at the Federal Landmark. Every Cubs fan knows you play at 120 at the Federal Landmark, or you play at night under the lights. All right, now what is this 208 shit going on? I don't like it at all,
dude. But I see this comment right here, dude. Look at this. My whole thing I keep texting is like, game 1 is what's going to determine the series.
I didn't know that.
It's crazy, dude.
I didn't know that. That's crazy. That's wild.
Yeah.
So
I mean, 0-12. So it's basically win or go home.
The only time I remember a team going or losing game 1 and ended up winning the series. So this might debunk this. So it might still be kind of true, but if you count 2020, the Padres lost game 1 The Padres lost game 1 with Chris Paddock on the mound and ended up winning the series with a bullpen game in game 3.
That might not count because it's like the COVID shortened.
That's what I'm thinking. It might not count
Yeah,
because of that.
yeah. But that's a scary stat. That makes my heart race a lot more for tomorrow, honestly.
Well, if it's 12, that's what? How many years is that? That's 4 years, right? No. It's 2 years. That's 2 years.
Yeah, it started in 22.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's why. That's why it doesn't count, because it's like they haven't officially changed it yet. And then they were like, "Yo, that was way better." But that is wild. So okay, that's important for also not just this series. That's also important for just all of the games tomorrow. Like, dude, like we were talking about the Dodger series is interesting, but also like just Yankees Red Sox. You got the two aces going up. Like, that's an exciting one. But dude,
that's okay. Pulling for a division rival, but I'm pulling for Hunter Green tomorrow. I'm gonna be so honest. I want him to knock out the Dodgers.
Of course.
Please.
I think everyone else. I think everyone outside of LA is rooting for Hunter Green.
We're none of us want the Dodgers to go far, man. Hunter Green, work your magic tomorrow, please. I want to see those 100-mile-an-hour dots.
So question for you guys. Looking at tomorrow's game, I don't know if you have saw this. I think Vegas odds are always interesting. I like them, right? It's the only game in the series where the Padres are favored to, or they're favored to win. I don't think the other lines are out, but they're favored to win, like very, very slightly. It's super close. It's like, like 51, 52%. It's like, I think it was minus 105 for Padres win, minus 115 for Cubs win. So like pretty much as close as you can get, honestly. But the series, it's like minus 175 for the Cubs to win, which is so weird, because if the Padres win, obviously those odds go crazy. They flip so hard, right? But my thought, and I don't know how you feel, Mike. I don't know how you feel about the matchup tomorrow. I mean, either way, it's going to be exciting. I'm stoked for it. But I think that if the Padres lose tomorrow, I think they're completely screwed. Like, I think it is. I think you have to win tomorrow. I think if they don't win tomorrow, I feel. And I was thinking about this because, Isaac, I was thinking about that Cardinals series, and I was like, well, I guess that was the series where it felt more like this, didn't it? Yeah. Like, because who pitched I'm trying to remember. Was the next game wasn't bullpen. The third game was the bullpen game.
Zach Davies.
It was Zach Davies. So not very like. Yeah. So very just like not really like a good guy on the mound. Obviously, Cease has struggled in the playoffs and big moments especially. But Cease has been good against the Cubs, so that's game 2. But either way, you're not feeling very confident. Darvish has been better lately, but Darvish hasn't been his usual self. But looking at game 1, that's my thought. So Isaac, you agree with me, and then I'll see what you're kind of feeling, Mike. But Isaac, you agree, right? Like game 1, it's kind of like it's all the marbles, I feel like.
It's funny because I feel like I think every fan base thinks the same except for the Dodgers. The Dodgers being the exception because they know they got Yamamoto and Ohtani going the next day. No, I think every fan base feels that way, honestly. But we know that because Dylan Cease is on the mound in game 2, and we can discuss Dylan Cease right now. Dylan Cease, in his career at Wrigley Field, has about a 2.5 ERA, somewhere along those lines. He's pretty good there. I mean, got to hand it to him, right? I'm pretty sure he started in the Cubs minor league system.
Jose Quintana trade.
Yep, exactly. Jose Quintana trade, and then went to the White Sox, pitched some games there. Recently pitched, I think it was like 7 innings, 2 runs at Wrigley Field, something like that. So he's good against them. There's something else, though, right? It's that Dylan Cease might be the worst postseason pitcher I've ever seen. Dylan Cease, in I think it's 4 career starts, has an 0-1 record with a 12.91 ERA in the postseason. So something's got to give, right? Something's got to give. It's just really weird because Dylan Cease, and we can talk about him probably this whole episode because I don't think he's deserving of a game 2 start. However, if you look at it throughout the season, the one consistent pitcher you've had is Nick Pivetta, right? Michael King went down with an injury. Yu Darvish didn't start pitching till halfway through the season. He had an injury during some point after he came back, like he was on the IL for 2 of his starts, I want to say. Basically, all you've had that's consistent in your rotations, Nick Pivetta and Dylan Cease. You could say Randy Vasquez too, but
I was gonna say, bro, Randy Vasquez over Dylan Cease, right?
The metrics god. The metrics defire. Guy has like an expected ERA of over 5, and he looked like a legit 4 starter this year, if not a. So it was pretty awesome what we saw from Randy Vasquez. Much credit to him. Going back to Dylan Cease. Game 2 pitcher, I don't think we expected that. I don't think any Padre fan expected that. I think we were set on going Pivetta, Darvish, King. It was really surprising. So I don't know. And just to mention, Michael King will be available out of the bullpen throughout the duration of the series, apparently. Oh, fuck.
So is this a scenario you think where, okay, Cease has a bad first couple of innings, maybe Cubs, tattoo him for 2, 3, 4 runs, hopefully.
Well, Cease,
right?
Here's the
Is
thing with
King
Dylan
going to be a
Cease.
long relief type of guy in game 2?
Here's the thing with Dylan Cease, and I think that's the direction they're headed. I think you're right there. Dylan Cease numbers the first time through the order isn't bad. It's pretty good. First time through the order, he's a pretty good pitcher. It's the second time it starts getting worse, and the third time it totally just goes crazy, right? And the thing with Dylan Cease, if you're going one time through the order, you're probably getting 2 innings out of him. I think they give him a really short leash. I think they give him 4, 5 max.
Okay.
You can't do more than that, bro.
Granted, that's 100 pitches for Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Also, the leash is going to depend on what happens in game 1 for obvious reasons.
Of course.
If the Padres win game 1 and Cease is pumping, this is where it gets scary, bro. Because let's say Padres go and win game 1, right? I think that's for them. I think it's must win. I think if they lose game 1, I think you're looking at a serious uphill battle. I really do. I think it's really hard. I also think that they have. I'm sorry. I know people like last year they were like a really clutch team and stuff. They have not felt like that this year. They really have not. So I don't really feel like backs against the wall. They're exactly that they're in a great spot, to be honest with you. However, if you are up, let's just give a scenario, right? This is the problem with Dylan Cease. This is why it's so scary. This is why I think Mike Shildt starting Dylan Cease, and Isaac, I know you feel the same way. If it goes wrong, that's a very, very, very bad. You can say that's a fireable offense after some of the stuff that's happened this year.
For Mike Shildt? Yeah.
Yeah.
That should be it. That should be it. If his start goes haywire, that should be it.
Which is crazy because I feel like me and you have like, I don't know, at least like I've always been like, really like I'm not really big on just like let's just fire the guy. Let's fire the guy. Like let's just blame it on him. Like I really try not to do that, but like I think with the decision making question marks this year, like that's been
how hot is the seat right now, do you think, Matt?
It's not.
I don't think it's very hot. That's why. That's why.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing is like I'm like Matt. I'm not very like fire the guy, fire the guy, fire the guy. Even with Bob Melvin, I had a crazy long leash with Bob Melvin. Even when we let him go, I was like, this is a mistake. Like I didn't want to see him go. Granted, it ended up working out. But Mike Shildt, I mean, throughout the season, numbers have been there to show like Luis Ariz isn't your best 2-hole hitter. He shouldn't be there. Numbers have been there whole year to show that. And he kept plugging him in there. Luis Ariz being one of the lowest OPSs on our team, one of the least valuable players on our team. He just kept throwing him out there. So it was that itself really got me going with Mike Shildt. But
yeah,
just Dylan Cease stuff, man. If it doesn't go his way.
What do you think of Luis Ariz's contract is going to be free agency? Probably $15 an hour, maybe.
Yeah, dude, it should be minimum wage, honestly.
It's gonna be so weird to see how that goes.
Man, I've made fun of you for liking Luis Ariz. Like I get like the
I like him, bro.
I don't.
I can't do it, and I'm not dialed into every Padres game like you guys are. So maybe my opinion's invalid. I can't do it with the Ariz, man. I'm sorry.
I'm not.
I say that he's gonna kill us. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I'm not a batting average guy. I'm not a bat to ball guy. I want guys that can hit for power, and I mean, he's valuable in an offense that is probably top 5 in homers. That's where he's probably valuable. On the Padres, he's not very valuable.
I will say, like, okay, Nico Horner, I think is a good comparison, right?
Yeah.
Nico gives you Gold Glove defense. Nico batted, what was it, 297 this year, so he's got high batting average, Gold Glove defense, and Nico's got a little bit of pop, right? A little bit, not a lot. He got a little bit of pop. So I think if you're going to be just a big bat to ball guy, give me Gold Glove defense, give me a little bit of pop, and you could be. Nico's a 5'6". He's a 6'4" player. Like he was a really, really good player. I think that hitter profile, you just need other tools. And I just think Luis Ariz is a one-tool guy. That's my problem with him, really.
He is. No, he
Yeah.
is. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I will say
So
though, with Arise, it is interesting because like I don't think Isaac, like for instance, like for you, I think you would probably be like, dude, I love Luis Arise. If he was hitting ninth,
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Are
everything
you serious?
changes, right?
That'd be awesome. Yeah, if he was hitting ninth, if he was okay, yeah, if he was where he actually should be, heck yeah.
Yeah, it would feel it would. That's what's weird about it, dude. That's what's weird about him. But it's like because I'm like I like Arise. Like I actually think that he has value and stuff. But it's like it's also just. I mean, okay. Also, I don't want to talk about Arise too much because I feel like we talk about Arise so much, bro.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but like it is just like one of the things where it's like if you just don't put him in this situation, everyone's gonna be like, oh hell yeah, dude, I dig this guy. He's a little scrappy 9 hitter, like. Look at his batting average. He always gets the clutch hits or whatever it is. But it's that's not the situation. Either way, I don't think Schilt is a bad manager. I don't think Schilt is on the hot seat really. However, I don't think like and now Bob Melvin just got fired today from the Giants. We weren't really like that big on like firing Bob. We were like, I mean, sure. Like obviously
I didn't think it was all his
it
fault.
has not it obviously didn't go well in San Francisco. Guess what, guys? They're not that talented.
Nope,
They're
they're
about where they should be. And like I don't think
yep.
it's Bob Melvin's fault. Like I definitely do not think that. So I think it's interesting with him. But I will say this. I don't know if you remember this one, Isaac. Well, I know you remember it, but I don't know if you want to remember it. Bob Melvin did something in the playoffs. Did two things in that Phillies series that guess what? Were fireable offenses. Because
Oh,
when you do something stupid, that's when it's like that's when you bring it up. And I think having C start game 2 feels somewhat like that. Though, if you have C start game 2 and he has a short leash and he gives you, let's say, he gives you 3 scoreless innings, and then you piggyback him with
Michael
King
King.
for 3 or 4 innings. That's what I think they're planning on doing. That's not
Masterpiece.
that bad. That's fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. But just hearing Dylan Cease starting game 2, you're like, oh god, dude, this is scary. This is real scary. Um, but with Bob Melvin, he did two things. Obviously, the main one is the one where he kept Robert Suarez in when you had Josh Hader there to face Harper, and he didn't pull him. That's the very obvious one. And Harper hit like a 3-run bomb, and the series ends, right? But the one that was worse than that, I think, was when the Padres they gave up. They had Clevenger. It was Clevenger pitched, right? I want to say Clevenger pitched. He had sucked all year. He gets totally rocked. I think it's game 3 or game 4. I forget which one um, and he gets totally rocked. The Padres rally back. They get a big lead. And then the next guy he puts in is Sean Manaea, who had
Mm.
been fucking horrible lately. And he gets rocked and they lose. I don't remember the score of the game. It felt like they gave up 15 runs in the first 4 innings in that game.
we put up way more runs than we had to that game. Well, that was a very
Yeah,
winnable
exactly.
game. No, that was
Exactly.
a
And
very
that was the
winnable
one that was the momentum swinger of the series. That
game.
was the one. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that was the one where I was like, all right, dude, I don't trust the thing. My thought was like in baseball, like a manager, like the impact is so obvious because it's so decision making oriented. It's like if you do that, that's when you're gonna get judged. Like maybe you're not even on the hot seat, but that's how I feel about that. Let's get back in the series though. And also, Mike, we're not really giving you a chance to talk. I
Yeah,
want to
sorry,
know,
bro.
okay, I want to know what your thought is, like from your perspective, right? You look at this series matchup wise, like where do you think the Cubs have the advantage? Where do you think the Padres have the advantage? Because I want to know what you think, and then I want to kind of like see how
Real
I
quick.
feel about it.
What
Yeah, yeah.
about real quick? What about we pull up while Mike talks, and he can keep talking when you pull it up. How about we pull up the Cubs hitter stats versus Nick Pivetta,
Okay.
if
Yeah,
we
yeah.
can?
Good call.
yeah. So I'll start with a pro for you guys. A little compliment sandwich here. I think you guys have the advantage in the bullpen, 100%. I think, and I know as of late, I know Matt's been telling me as of late they have not been as good. But on the aggregate for the season, your bullpen's been awesome. Mason Miller, you got just so many fireballers back there. You got a guy with who's the guy with the wonky release? Is that Wandy Peralta with that really kind of wonky release? Like you guys, I think have such an advantage if you guys are leading late in the game. I don't feel very good about that, right? Your bullpen's not one I want to face. Where I think the Cubs have the advantages, I think top to bottom, their lineup is better. Now, I don't know that we have a single hitter as good as Fernando Tatis. Obviously, he's probably the best hitter between the two of us. But I think 1-9, the Cubs have a better lineup than the Padres. I think I could say that kind of with my chest out. There's not really a huge weakness in this lineup with the emergence of Matt Shaw. I think he's really short up third base. We've looked a lot better. I mean, just night and day difference with him kind of getting in the groove of things. It took him a little bit. Pete Crow had struggled a lot in the second half of the year, had a hot week. Hopefully he gets going. Seiya Suzuki went, I think it was like 32 straight games without hitting a home run. He hit 4 in his last like 5 games. He's been hot. Kyle Tucker's back in the fold. Nico's, was I think second in the National League in batting average. Dansby's been okay. Ian Happ has been really hot as of late. Michael Busch, can I just take a second to talk about Michael Busch? 9th in all of Major League Baseball in OPS plus, I believe it was. Guy hit 34 home runs. All right, guy hit 34 home runs as a guy who is a quote-unquote platoon bat at first base. He does play against lefties, although Craig did like to start Justin Turner for a lot of the year. And I know it's Padres fans, you guys love to hear the name Justin Turner, so hopefully he hits a walk-off or 2 this series. But I think Michael Busch has been one of the most underrated bats in all of Major League Baseball. He was snubbed of the All-Star game. He continued to be hot. I think he's been our best example of a consistent hitter throughout the year. He really hasn't had those slumps like we've seen from Tucker or Seiya or PCA or whoever. He's been rock solid. So I think lineup-wise, I think the Cubs are in a really good spot. I know Matt was telling me, and we've been talking throughout the season, like, yeah, Fernando and Merrill have been great. And Machado's had his spots here and there, but you guys, I think, have lacked that depth in the lineup to really get consistent runs from a lot of players. So I'd say the Cubs have the advantage there. Again, we talked about home field. Big advantage Cubs. Not only are they a better team at home, I think Wrigley helps what their style of pitcher is going to be show to being a fly ball guy. Matthew Boyd's given up a lot of hard contact lately. Hopefully some of that stays in the yard. And I think another thing that benefits the Cubs here, and I know I'm going on a Cubs tangent, sorry, Cubs fan.
So right for it's cool.
Dude, it's good to know.
Yeah, that's what we're talking for.
don't tell Mike Schild I said this. All right, I want to be like a committing espionage here, but the Cubs I think can play small ball better than people think. They've got a lot of guys who can swipe a bag, right? So if the game is 2-1, 3-2, whatever, and nobody's really hitting bombs, and there's just some cheap contact, whatever. Maybe Nico Horner swipes a bag. Maybe a Matt Shaw, turns. Breaks up a double play by beating out a throw. You never know. The Cubs have a lot of team speed that I think is going to come into play in this series. I think that's one of the really underrated parts of this team. And Craig Counsell, credit to him, because this was a criticism of mine from last year. He's let them run. They've been running loose all year. Pete, I'm pretty sure, has the green light on every single time he gets on first base, which, his OBP isn't great. But every time he gets on first, he, I think, has the green light to steal if he needs to. Nico, same thing. Shaw's getting there as well. He's really, really fast. So team speed, lineup, home field advantage, I think all favor the Cubs. But like I said, your bullpen scares me. And the other thing that scares me about you guys is this is kind of a con for us and a pro for you. Your pitchers have playoff experience. Ours don't, right? Matthew Boyd talked about it today. I don't know if you guys got a chance to watch his press conference. Very, very emotional.
Did see that, yeah.
He was crying. He was talking about his grandfather growing up in Chicago. Just so emotional. It just shows you the passion of how deeply, deeply connected, the city of Chicago is with the Cubs. But that's that story for another day. Boyd doesn't have playoff experience. Shota doesn't have playoff experience. And to my knowledge, if he's the Game 3 starter, Jameson Taillon doesn't have playoff experience. Maybe he has a little bit with the Yankees.
I think he does, yeah.
Maybe he has that 1 year in Pittsburgh, like 2015, but minimal, right? Minimal playoff experience. Darvish been to the World Series at least once or twice. I know it's bad experience in this case, but Cease has pitched in the playoffs. I think just that experience, knowing what the environment's like, knowing what to expect, knowing the
Cease knows. Cease knows it cannot get any worse. All right,
exactly. So that could be a positive. Like it couldn't get any worse for him. So
also, I think Taillon, real quick. Yeah. Sorry, Taillon has pitched 2 games in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. So he pitched 1 game. So he has 2 games in the playoffs. Overall, he has a 6.23 ERA and 4 1/3 innings. However, this is what's interesting. So he started a game in 22 for the Yankees against the Astros. Went 4 1/3, gave up 4 hits, a run, right? Walked 3. But then he pitched in another game. He came in relief in 2022 against the Guardians. Did not record an out, gave up 3 hits and 2 earned runs. So he got rocked.
That ALCS game where the Guardians had that mounted that huge comeback? Is that game?
Well, this wasn't. You're talking about last year, right?
Oh, I am talking.
This is 22. This is 22.
Yeah, I am thinking. You're right. Who are they playing?
But
22? Astros.
Yeah, I think this was
Yeah.
before. It's my guess. I don't know.
So,
But either way, those were the 2 outings he did. So
Playoff
he has a little bit.
To give just the cliff notes, I like your bullpen better. Your pitchers have better playoff experience. But I think we've got the advantage with the home field. I think our lineup's better, and I think our team speed is going to be a huge factor in this game. Because how good are your catchers at throwing guys out?
So that's an
He's not
interesting
bad.
part.
Diaz sucks.
Well, dude.
Okay.
That's the interesting part, Isaac, because I keep hearing it. Yeah, exactly. Everyone keeps talking about like, okay, so for your knowledge, Mike, Nick Pavetta's personal catcher is Elias Diaz, right?
Mhm.
And he got hurt. I forgot what his injury was, but it's like minor, and it's kind of like up or down if he's going to make the playoff roster.
Right.
There's a funny part of this too, but basically, what I think happens, which I would be completely shocked if it doesn't happen, is Freddie Fermin is going to he's going to catch every day. He's going to catch all the games, all the innings.
What's the profile?
The funny
on Freddie
part,
Fermin?
he's a great defender. The funny part is, if the Padres don't have Diaz, they're gonna have fucking they're gonna have fucking Maldonado. You know it's Maldonado.
They might have, honestly, yeah, I did hear that they might carry all 3 with the injury to Ramon Laureano.
They haven't. Yeah, dude, that guy's a cockroach, bro. He's never gonna be gone, dude. It's insane.
It's horrible.
Career 150 hitter, dude. I actually,
that guy, bro.
I used to hate Maldonado because he was so terrible. I actually kind of respect him now, like being that bad for so many years and keeping your job, man. I kind of love it.
But Fermin throws guys out. Fermin's a really good defensive catcher. So I almost feel like it is a downside for Pivetta. It'll be interesting, right? Because it's a downside because you're losing your personal catcher, right? Like, of course.
Yeah.
But it could be like fielding wise and everything. It could end up being an upgrade, and it could, especially that you're bringing up the fact that the Cubs run so much. That's a good sign, I think, for the Padres side, almost in a way, because like it's like, yeah, you don't have like you're not used to catching this guy. Fermin's also been kind of struggling at the plate. I mean, he had like a home run like a week ago or something, but he has not been very good behind the plate, honestly. Where Diaz has actually been a little bit hot. But either way, like you would rather have a more defensive oriented guy, at catcher, especially if you're a team that runs a lot and the Cubs do. So I think that's a very interesting kind of like note in this series is that injury. I think you're kind of exactly right. I don't know, Isaac, what do you think about Mike's like kind of like strengths and weaknesses difference between the two teams? I feel like it's pretty accurate, honestly.
Well, yeah, I mean the sorry, I'm trying to look at the Padres, of course, are going to have the bullpen advantage, right? They're the best bullpen in baseball by ERA. Losing Jason Adam hurt a lot, but the Padres are kind of getting guys that are pretty damn good. Bradley Rodriguez looks really good. David Morgan's pretty good. Estrada's been struggling lately. Hopefully he gets it together. Former Cub. Hopefully he gets it together.
I always liked Estrada. I called it that he was always going to be good. I will say that right now.
Hopefully he gets it together where he originally played, but hopefully he gets it together. Of course, Robert Suarez, he's actually been pretty good lately, even though, we kind of given him a lot of slack, but it's deserved, bro. Like, anyway, that's for another time. And then, of course, Mason Miller, traded for Mason Miller. And then, how can I forget? Adrian Morejon, my twin. Arguably the best lefty reliever in baseball this year. Top 5 reliever in baseball. He's been stupid good. I mean, I think the Padres are going to give Morejon a lot of innings. Morejon, Miller, and I don't want to say Estrada because I don't think he's earned a lot of postseason innings. Morejon, Miller, and maybe Suarez are probably going to get worked.
For this series, it's going to be King. I think that's
too. Yeah, King's probably going to get a decent amount of innings because look, I don't want to get ahead of myself because it's already scary, but King or Pivetta could set up for a game 1. You'll be fine. But no, he's right. I mean, I looked at the Cubs lineup compared to the Padres lineup this year, and if you go by overall team stats, Cubs are top 10 in OPS. They're number 7 with a 751 OPS. Padres are like 18, so clearly an advantage there. Not a single Cubs hitter is below. Last time I checked, below like a 722 OPS, 720 OPS.
Probably Matt Shaw, but
I was gonna say there's got to be somebody. I don't really remember, but
Justin Turner, but.
I don't ever want to talk about
dude,
that guy ever.
I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't know if you saw this. Who you're talking about? Matt Shaw, right? That's your guy you're talking about? No. Who's the guy you're talking about?
Matt Shaw, yeah.
We were just talking about Turner, but yeah, we were just talking about Matt.
No. Who's the first baseman? Bush? Bush. Yeah, you're talking about Bush, bro. Give me Bush at the plate. 100 out of 100 times instead of fucking Justin Turner. You don't know about the damage this man has done to the
No, I
Padres
dude,
do because
organization.
I
no,
don't want to see
they
you
Justin
talk
see
Turner
about it
this?
on the
all the
field
time
ever
on the
again,
Cubs
dude.
broadcast. It is so funny. They talk
You
about it
see
all
this
the time.
stat? Look, this
Yeah.
is Justin Turner against Pivetta. I
Against
don't,
Nick
dude, keep
Pivetta?
that guy out of the
Oh my
lineup, bro.
God.
I
That's
don't care if
Craig
he's
crazy.
Counsell.
hitting. I don't care if he doesn't have a hit this year. I do not want to see that guy. All right, I do
Well,
not want to see him.
well, you don't want to play Michael Bush either because he's pissed off. Because did you see what the Cardinals did to him last week?
They throwed him or something.
No, dude. He had 2 homers, a triple, and a double. Went up to bat in the ninth inning. They intentionally walked him.
That's awesome.
I was so pissed. I was so pissed. And Ali Marmol is going to stand up there with his chest puffed out and be like, "Well, we're not here to entertain. We're trying to win games."
I did see
Dude,
that.
you're 5 games back of the effing playoffs. I'm going to watch my mouth because this is a broadcast. But you're 5 games back of the playoffs. This is the second to last game of the season. You're going to Cancun in a week. What are you doing? Just throw the effing ball down the.
Yeah,
whatever.
true.
I'm sorry.
I
Bush
agree,
deserved it. You deserve a chance to get to the cycle when you're that hot. And he had 2 homers. So
It is pretty Bush League what Marmol
No.
did.
it was Bush League. I can't stand it. And people want to say, well, I don't know, to give more context. Earlier in the game, when the game was, we were up by 4 runs, Dansby stole a base. Why that was significant because it got him to 2020. So they were pissed off that Dansby stat padded to get to 2020. But that's way different than getting to the cycle. Like that's way different. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like that's not an excuse. I don't know. So
Also,
Michael Bush is fully charged up and ready to go after what happened to him a couple days ago.
I was gonna ask, what team did Pivetta play for to have so many at bats against Dansby, or have so many? Dansby has 34 at bats against Pivetta.
Well, where was Dansby?
Rob,
Dansby was in Atlanta, now in Chicago.
Yeah. He hasn't played in the playoffs in Chicago though, so it would have to.
Pivetta
pitched for Boston, San Diego.
Well, they've also been in the league for a minute.
A while, yeah, true, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess,
Pivetta was on the Phillies. That's why.
That's why.
Yeah, that's
okay,
why.
yes,
That's why,
Phillies.
I didn't know
Braves.
that.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah, that's why. That's why.
gotcha.
So, I will say one more thing before when we're talking about bullpens. The Cubs sneaky, and I say sneaky because even I didn't expect this kind of throughout the year. They sneaky have the 11th best bullpen in Major League Baseball in terms of ERA. 3.78. That's respectable. We don't have a Mason Miller, right? We have a Daniel Palencia, who I think is really good. And when I don't know if you guys saw, he has his intro song, Gasolina plays. Whole stadium goes crazy.
So
it's so fun. He comes in throwing 101. It's just like fire me the F up, right? He's
Oh,
good.
Yeah,
Not Mason Miller good.
Drew Pomeranz, bro. Are you kidding me?
Hey. I was about to say Padres legend, Drew Pomeranz, right? We've got some other guys. We've got Andrew Kittredge, Brad Keller, right? Jordan Wicks is now going to be in the bullpen. I mean, I give Craig Counsell a lot of credit for duct taping and bandaging this bullpen together. I think you guys have a lot of just really high-end talents in the bullpen. I don't think the Cubs have that besides maybe Palencia. I think Craig's strength is just that he gets the most out of every guy. He uses them in advantageous spots. This Cubs bullpen has been good. And I was complaining about them all year. And then you look up and you're like, wow, 3.78. That's actually not bad at all.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's not good by any means. It's not like, upper 5 in the league, but 11th best. I'll take it. Just don't completely blow the game. I think we're in a solid spot. So you guys definitely have the advantage in terms of the bullpen, but I want to give a shout out to Craig Counsell in the Cubs bullpen because I think he's sneaky gotten the most out of what he can. Another guy we signed this past offseason, Eli Morgan. You know how many innings he's thrown? 0, nothing, nada, zilch. So that was a big addition we had that didn't work, but a lot of just under the radar guys have been big contributors this year for the Cubs. So I wanted to give a shout out to those guys.
Yeah, that's what I do think is interesting about playoff baseball, though. Not to rip you apart, Mike, but I feel like a lot of that stuff goes out the window a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, which is like, don't get me wrong, that stuff's still super important. Like, you got to get to the spots, but I feel like, and this is my opinion, but I feel like once you get to a certain stage, like playoffs, really, it's like you just got to have your best guys. Like, you got to have the best overall talent, and those guys just got to show up. Which I think is a huge advantage for the Padres. I do think your guys' lineup is better than the Padres. However, I will say this, and I think we haven't talked about it all yet.
I feel like I know what you're about to say, and I was just about to say this. I'm excited to see what you say.
This is
We're
Pico
thinking,
Armstrong
if
slander, Matt. I'm gonna leave the show immediately.
come on, we like that
Who?
guy.
Good. No, you might
PCK?
like the guy.
Wait,
Hold on, hold on.
PCK?
Hold on. You might like the guy. I know Matt does not. Me and Matt have been talking shit about him all year. I have defended him. I have gone to war for PCA against Matt this year. So don't let him lie.
I
on
don't know
camera
who this
that he likes him.
PCA.
He's been
I
pretty,
don't know who this-
honestly. He definitely came down to earth.
35 plus WAR, gonna win the platinum glove. I'd say it's a pretty good season.
No, it's a great season by all means. Yeah,
Yeah.
great
I'm not
season.
saying he didn't have a good season. I'm saying that the underlying numbers
He had
tell
a
you
great
this.
season, Matt. Let's call it
Throw
a
him
great
something in the dirt, he's gonna swing. Javi Baez 2.0, right? We already saw this guy come through
Ooh,
Chicago.
Hey,
Hey,
listen,
Mike's
he was
favorite
tra-
player was Javi Baez, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying.
Hey, I'll
Oh
say this. He was
shoot.
traded for Javi Baez. He's always gonna have that in him. But
That's
for every
hilarious.
five
That
times,
makes it so much better.
no, it is so much funny. For every 5 times he swings on an 0-2 count at a pitch that was spiked into the dirt, he's gonna send that 6-1 into the bleachers. So I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'll take it. 30
I get it.
homers from a 23-year-old center fielder, platinum glove winner. I think that's a good year. I don't know.
He's good.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's
he's
just
good.
me.
I'm
I
excited.
will
what you
say
have to
this.
Matt.
Okay, one thing real quick before. I will say this is what absolutely terrifies me because of all the shit talking Mike and I have been doing. If this series goes to game 3, the inevitable this one's inevitable. So you can't even talk shit, Mike, because I already know it's happening.
No, I will talk shit, but go ahead. I will talk shit. Go ahead.
The inevitable PCA 0-2
Oh,
pitch from
dude,
Darvish,
stop.
where Darvish just goes, throw it in the dirt. Why would I throw it in the dirt when I can throw him a hanging breaking ball right in the middle of the plate? That's the one I'm
Boom!
afraid of. Yeah,
He's
that's
gonna
the one
hit
I'm
that
afraid
on.
of.
Dude, he's gonna hit that onto Waveland Avenue. That ball's gonna be going for another week. And you can't talk shit. I will be the most insufferable person. If PCA
Yeah, that's the
gets
problem.
one
That's
big
the
hit in
problem.
this series, I will be the most insufferable person you've ever met, Matt. All right.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Who
All right.
wants to win a
Anyways,
9
what I was
losses
gonna
season?
say. What I was gonna say. The one thing I think that matters most, and Isaac already knows, there's a certain man that is hot right now. He's hot right now, and I think this is what makes baseball so such a magical sport. Because obviously in football, your quarterback gets hot, he gets a rhythm, whatever, right? You get those Brady moments, stuff like that. But there's also so many other factors. I think in football, basketball, you can get a shooter hot. There's something that feels different about when you have a superstar player and he is seeing beach balls being thrown at him. That's what he's seeing come across the middle of the plate. And that's Fernando right now, which is
Yeah.
so funny to me. Because Fernando starts this year, right? On fire. MVP race, right? Whatever. Then for 3 months, he doesn't know how to pull a baseball. He does not know how to pull a baseball. And he's still hitting the ball hard. I don't know if you saw Isaac. He finished the year baseball savant,
Top 10 in that
92nd
right?
percentile.
Yep.
Yeah, 92nd percentile in baseball savant. However, it felt like such a bad year offensively. The base running, the fielding was really good. And I get his on base percentage. There's a lot of stuff that you can be really positive about. I'm not trying to be negative about his season, but it never felt like he was. It felt like he was not right, completely lost at the plate for 3+ months. However, last 2-3 weeks, oh, he's fucking back, dude. And it's it's time to turn up for the playoffs. Word, let's turn up. Let's pull the baseball. He's smoking the baseball. And Mike, I don't know how much of you watched the Padres playoff run last year, it was short lived, but either way, he was insane.
Insane.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He was insane.
Yeah.
1,500 OPS last year in the playoffs, and he's a big game guy. So that's the biggest thing. Add on with him, Jackson Merrill, same kind of situation. Starts out the year super hot, gets banged up. It's obviously a timing thing. He's kind of all screwed up all year, on and off the IL either 2 or 3 times. Maybe it was just 2 cents. Either way though, really up and down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with him. He had over a 950 OPS in September. He's hot. Manny has been atrocious lately. I'm not gonna lie about that one. I saw that. Yeah, I saw that Arise has been super hot too, right? He's been good. O'Hearn was in a really bad slump last couple weeks. He's gonna get out there. He's been on fire.
Yep.
We haven't brought up that Ramon Laureano's out. Laureano was slumping.
Yep.
Something that people aren't bringing up. Laureano was in a heavy slump, but when he went down, And he was really good. He was huge for the Padres. He honestly won them a lot of games when a lot of other guys were slumping. But you look at the Padres lineup and you go, dude, all of the big pieces, like all of the guys that you need to heat up right now outside of Manny, which at least Manny had a really good game on Sunday, but all the other guys have really stepped up. And in all
Mhm.
honesty, Manny has not been good in the playoffs for the Padres. He has not been good in the
Mm-mm.
playoffs for his career. So there's a lot
Mm-mm.
of pressure on him to step up and bounce back. Hopefully he does that. But either way, like the two guys that I've at least over the last couple of years have felt like are the real like killers on the Padres, or Merrill and Tatis. And those are also the guys that need to be the best because they're the young guys. They're the future of the Padres franchise. I will also add in one other guy. Talk about Xander Bogaerts coming off the
Yeah.
IL,
Hmm.
slugging, dude. He looks good. He looks good. So
He changed
the
something. I don't
Padres
know what.
lineup, yeah,
I don't know
they
what
gave him
he
one of those
changed in
shots
his. Yeah, I don't know what
in
he
his wrist
changed.
again.
I don't know what it was. He changed something either in his stance or his swing. He changed something. I don't know what it is though. I
I thought
haven't.
Bogarts was excommunicated from the city of San Diego. What
I
happened?
mean,
What happened in that time frame? I haven't been
dude,
keeping up with you guys as well
honestly
as I thought.
though,
Clearly,
his last Matt, what do you want to say? Like last half of the season?
Yeah, ever since that
He was
Dodgers
good.
series,
Ever since
ever
that
since that.
Dodgers series, he was good. I
Also, for reference, Mike, there was like back-to-back games where I think he literally left like 12 or like 15 guys on
oh
base.
yeah.
Like I'm not even. No, I think he came up. I think there was two. I think there was three times where the bases were loaded and he came up right in a 2-game stretch,
Yep.
and he
two
grounded
RBC.
into two double plays, and
Two
I think
double
he
plays.
got out of the other ones.
All in the Dodgers series, by the way.
Yeah, and then since then it's been like, all right, it was like it's the same thing that we hope happens with Chiefs, where it's like you've seen the lowest of the lows, dude.
Yeah,
The pressure's
only up
gone
from here.
because there's just
Only
no
up.
expectations.
Yeah,
But I think that
Honestly,
is the difference. That's the difference where it's like I think the Cubs lineup is better, but if the Padres and the thing is, Mike, the Padres lineup is so streaky, so like
yeah.
this really matters. Like they all have
Well,
to be
oh, for
kind of
sure.
going, and then they're going.
well,
So
I think we figured out what's wrong with what turned around Bogarts. We got Goofball in the chat saying he went to the Padres game on the 19th and that turned the season around. So shout out to
I'll see that,
Goofball,
bro.
man.
Goofball. Hell yeah,
Change the
brother.
trajectory of the Padres
Yeah, dog.
franchise.
Hell yeah.
shout out Goofball, man.
Yep.
What was that? What are you guys paying him? $280 million?
Yeah,
Made a
dude.
good $280 million
$280 over 11
investment.
years.
Yeah,
Look, honestly, yeah, he got a lot of slander, deserved, honestly,
yeah,
because he was horrible. I remember that day that he was grounding into those double plays. Twitter was going crazy.
yeah.
Dude, just off Xander Bogaerts alone, I think we got like 3 bangers.
dude,
Each one being like
you had that banger of who is the turtle
the
guy
turtle.
from like over the hedge.
Dude, yes, over the hedge turtle. I think that got, I don't know how many thousand likes that got, bro. Banger. Banger. We got so many bangers just off Xander Bogaerts that week. After that, it was crazy what he did. He was on pace for damn near a 4 WAR, and he got a lot of slack because defensively he wasn't very good at shortstop, and we had an elite defender before we got him in Ha-Seong Kim. This year, he was a pretty damn good, if not elite defender. So, I mean, it was pretty good.
Yeah. No, I think you want to talk about a guy earning his contract. Obviously, he's doing that. One, I think, sneaky major storyline is what's going on with Kyle Tucker. Like, is this going to be his last couple of games in Chicago Blue? Like, I don't want to.
Wait, hold on, it's loading.
That's awesome,
dude.
That's awesome.
Banger, bro. Banger. That was so good.
That's fucking awesome, dude. But no, like Kyle Tucker's very well documented. His contract's up at the end of the year. He has not wanted to negotiate in season. He wants to wait till the end of the season. And I think this is me personally. Kyle Tucker had a bit of an underwhelming year for the Cubs.
Agreed.
Missed some time with injuries, has some slumps. Overall, though, very, very good production. You will certainly take that. I think his first half was better than his second half, like a lot of guys in the Cubs. But I think his fate as a Chicago Cub will be decided one way or another in the duration of our playoff run. If he struggles and if he is not a difference maker and whatever, I don't see the Ricketts family just signing him to a blank check, which is what he's going to get in free agency. If he is going out there and he is making big hits, if he's getting key RBIs in big spots, I can see the Cubs bringing him back for $450 million. Like this to me is kind of, obviously it's important this season, what's going to happen in the playoff run. I think it also determines the future of Kyle Tucker because right now I'd say we're kind of, wishy-washy. and we're kind of back and forth on whether or not he's going to come back, just kind of as a community. I think the thoughts are, dude, if he has a big playoff series, I mean, you can't let a guy like that go. If he's that quality of a player and he's contributed in the playoffs in big spots, especially if the Cubs go on a run, you can't let a guy like that go. And Ricketts knows that the Cubs fans will burn down the city if that happens. So I think that this is sneaky huge for a guy like Kyle Tucker. I know obviously it has not so much to do with the playoff game, but I just want to throw that out there as a big kind of recurring storyline for this one.
Well, sorry, Matt. I know you probably plan to talk next, but what I was going to say real quick, Kyle Tucker's estimated market value is a 40.2 million AAV.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at over a 5-year deal. You're looking at 200 million.
He's going to get 300.
I think he gets like 40, 45, honestly.
So you think like 45, like 8 years, like 45 a year. That's like what, like 380-ish, 370.
I think that's pretty realistic, yeah, because he's only 28.
Yeah, he's 28. Defensively, been very underwhelming this year, I will say. Like, he's a Gold Glover, right? You know, guys like that, right?
Is that like a pity Gold Glove like Juan Soto's were?
I think it is. Like, he won it in 22 with the Astros, the year they won the World Series.
Look at it right now. He's a pretty defender. He's played in the league since 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8-ish years, right? 8 or 9 years. Just like looking at it real quick. Overall, in his whole career, he has 9 run value.
Yeah, so he's
like above average.
I think this year he's been
playing right field. Yeah, it's like all right.
He's been a guy who I think, you see Pico Armstrong, who is like throwing his body into the ivy, jumping over the bleachers, diving face first. Like Pico's trying to catch every ball. I think Kyle Tucker is like, hey, I'm about to be a free agent in a couple months. I need to conserve my my hamstrings and my shoulder and my ribs and my wrist. So I don't think that Kyle Tucker is going to be out here catching the balls that Pete does. But again, that's not really his game. Leave that to Pete. Anything hitting the outfield, I think, is Pete's territory, really. He can probably chase anything down. So I'm not too concerned about that. But yeah, I need Kyle Tucker to be big in this game, in this series. Likely will DH, I think. I don't know. That's another question to me, I think. Does he play the field? Because he's coming back from injury. He's DH the last couple of days that he played. So be interesting to see if he plays the field or if he's a strictly DH. And if he's a DH, he has to hit, point blank, period.
Dude, no, I think that's for the Cubs. I think that's actually like for the Padres. It's obviously like how it is like Stu. Like how does the lineup, like the stars, of course, like it's just like the common things of like, okay, who steps up? Like Fernando's going to stay hot. Is Manny going to step up in a playoff series? Because like you paid this dude like $500 million to do it. For the Cubs, you're looking at it and you're like, is this our guy?
Yeah.
Is this and also it's just interesting because I was looking up, like that's a big question. Like and like there's always like you just gotta win, but there is like always like underlying questions of like every team when they get into the playoffs, which I think is really interesting. Because like look at the Yankees, for instance, right? It's like, oh, the Yankees are competing for a championship every year. But every year it's been the same question. Is Aaron Judge gonna shit the bed? And then Aaron Judge shits the bed every single time. You know what I mean? Like, and then everyone forgets because he has an MVP season, and then it's like, dude, this guy has been in the same spots where he's really struggled. Like he has home runs and stuff, but it's like all of the big spots. It's like those are the big questions, right? For the Cubs, I think you're right, dude. I think it is so intriguing. And it's weird too, because it's like, okay, well, Kyle Tucker just came off of an injury. He hasn't had a really good year for his standards. So what does that mean? You rise to the occasion?
Exactly.
Do you just do nothing?
Exactly.
Or are you a megastar? Are you a? Because I was like when you guys were talking, I was looking at like how much his market's supposed to be, and there's stuff that's talking about 600 million.
No,
600 million.
No,
and I don't think he's gonna make that. No, I don't think he's gonna make that much. But if you're getting talked about 600 million, then you better step up in the big moment.
Well,
you know what I mean?
He's in
Like
the same conversation as Vladimir Guerrero, who got 500 million. I know Vladdy's a little bit younger, but he's in that same.
Yeah.
Those two guys were supposed to be the premier free agents. Vladdy obviously signed with the Jays. I think for the Cubs, like you said, is this the guy? Right. I think one criticism I could also levy on Kyle Tucker, if I could, is I felt like and this is going to sound bad. Maybe it sounds cooler in my head. But I feel like guys like Pete and guys like Ian and Nico are Cubs, right? They are
Yeah.
the
for sure.
Cubs.
Those guys
I
are
think
100%
Kyle Tucker
through and through
plays
Cubs.
for the Cubs. You know, I think there's a difference there. I don't
Mm.
think that he's as enriched into the culture and the community, and he's not as favorable with the fans. Like, I think that there's kind of a disconnect there, and I wonder if that is, hey, I'm here to get paid. You know, y'all traded for me for the year. You got me for the year. I'll do what I can. I'm going to go explore other options. Or maybe, and I know his personality, he's more of an introvert guy, but I'll say this for you guys. You might want to let us win so that we can re-sign Kyle Tucker, because if not, he might just go to the Dodgers. So realistically, you might want to play
Don't say that.
some
That's
you might want to, and listen, we can help each other out here. Just let us win a playoff series, okay? You don't have to face Kyle Tucker against the Dodgers. Let's win-win. What do you guys say? Win-win scenario, huh?
Bro,
well,
they already got their guy for the next decade, and that
10
guy is
years.
Michael Conforto right there. All right, that's who
Hell
they
yeah.
got. All right.
Hell
I'm sorry.
yes.
I don't want to see another 10-year, $650 million,
Oh, you will though. You will.
$645 million deferred contract. I don't want to see
Yeah, it's
it.
gonna be deferred
Well,
until we have
okay.
great grandchildren. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
seriously.
here's my question. Here's my question. If I'll say this, if I go and I watch right now, like, because I think Kyle Tucker's very interesting. Here's my thing. And I saw this question. I don't know who it is. I'll go up and find it right now. Someone said, "Why would you pay Kyle Tucker $445 million a year when you can go pay Kyle Schwarber the same amount?" I'm with you. No, I'm sorry. I'm with you because
No.
because here's why. Here's why.
Don't make me choose. I love Schwarber. Don't make me choose.
No, Schwarber. That is the guy. Like, we always talk about, like, okay, who's the guy you want to play? Dude, Schwarber is
Okay, yes.
100% the guy.
Absolutely. I
In
want
any
Schwarber.
big moment, if that guy walks up and you're the fan of the other team, you know your team is fucked
We've
because
seen it
Kyle
before.
I'm
Schwarber is going
shitting
to
my
hit a
We've seen it
nuke.
pants.
before. We saw
That's-
him take. So at Petco Park, I don't know if you've been, Mike. There's in right field. There's this section it's pretty freaking high up there.
Yeah.
I've never seen a ball hit that far in my life. Game 1 against you, Darvish, I could not believe my eyes. He hit it so far, and it feels like he does that to us every time we play him.
Yeah. He's been known for those. I mean, in 2015, he hit the one off Garrett Cole in our wild card playoff game. I think he
That's what I'm
hit it
saying, dude.
785
He's
feet,
nasty, dude.
probably.
He's
I
nasty.
mean,
That
Kyle
guy.
Tucker is one of the best home run hitters of our generation. I love that guy.
And so here's my thing. Like, you brought up him. Okay, if you went to to like a rival team, or if you went to, like,
He
whatever
goes back
signing
to the
right.
Astros just to F us over. He just goes back to the Astros.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he goes somewhere like that, it's like, well, that's what becomes a question of, like, is this guy worth? Because you guys are talking 8 years. I think it's 10 years minimum. I think he's gonna get every guy's getting 10 years minimum.
Yeah.
And
no, I
guess
see it.
what? Is he getting 12 years? I think 12 years is more likely than 8 years. I don't think the teams.
40?
That's what all the contracts are. Look at all of the contracts.
No,
Vladdy's
Many of them
playing-
turned out well, though. You know,
Dude,
at a certain point, teams gotta get smart.
Vladdy's contract is till I'm 40. You know how fucked up that is?
Yeah.
Vladdy
Yeah, but the
Jr.
days, to be fair, they had like no option. They were like,
No.
what are they gonna do? Not sign Vladdy?
But it's all okay. But it's all of the contracts. That's my point. That's just how they're all set up now. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he got 12 years. You know who's not getting 12 years? Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber is signing like a 4-year
Old.
deal.
He's old. I mean, he's like 30.
He's old.
33. Yeah.
I would, and that's my point. Is like, would I like? How much am I going to be like? Okay, well, I can have this guy for a decade, or is it just better to have the guy for the short term that is the guy in the moments? So that's my point is, I'm not, and I'm not.
3 years, 100 million or something, like probably something
Yeah.
like that.
No,
Yeah.
he's gonna get more than I do. I bet you someone's gonna give him a lot.
I
But
gotta
either way,
say,
it just depends. My final thing is just real quick. It just
Yeah.
depends with Kyle Tucker's. Are you the dude that steps up? That's like that's the overarching question with it all. And that's what
Yeah.
I think all the thought experiments with it kind of
I-
relate back to that.
I completely agree. And this is Kyle Tucker's time to say, like, look, I'm a Cub. Like, this is it. To get all the fans on his side, because I've seen a decent amount of criticism on Kyle Tucker, but he still put up a 4.5 F4 year.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
he was
pretty
good
good.
this year. Like, I'm not going to
Yeah,
say he was
good.
bad.
Exactly.
Not what he could be, though.
I agree. Completely agree. And I mean, he maxes out like at a 5.5.
Yeah.
Now, if Vladdy got the contract he did, Kyle Tucker deserves more. I don't think Vladdy's that good.
You think? Oh, Whoa, that seems like kind of a hot take.
Vladdy put up a 6.3 in 2021, put up like a 3.8. He's at a 3.8 this year, 5.3 last year, like a 2 the year before. I didn't think Vladdy was worthy of the contract when he got it.
Yeah.
I think Kyle Tucker's a stud.
That to me is more like the Vladdy contract, like in a vacuum, is a bad deal. I agree with you, but I also think there's the pressure of, all right, Blue Jays. This is a guy they've been in the system since he's what, like 17, 18.
That's their
right?
guy. Yeah,
Homegrown, their guy. They don't have anybody else. Toronto's not like some storied franchise like the Yankees or the Sox or the Cubs or whatever. Like, I think to them it was just like, this is just our guy. Keep him in house for the fans for how many years. So like, I get it, but like, I agree with you. Like in a pure value standpoint, it's not a good deal. So I don't disagree with you. But I think Vladdy's comparable to Tucker. I think.
Dude, Vladdy, I pulled up Vladdy because you brought this up. Like, obviously, the dude's not going to put up like the fielding and the base running metrics, of course. But god damn, dude, his baseball savant goes crazy. He goes crazy.
Oh no, he smacks the shit out of the ball.
He beats the fuck out of
the ball. That's all he's gonna. He's a hitter. Like he's a.
Well, that's also gonna be like his dad. He's gonna hit in his 30s too, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That's true.
That's what's hard with like, I think with like the value metrics, because like value metrics get brought up so much, but like at the end of the day, like there's also the expectation of like no one's expecting Vladdy to be like, hey Vladdy, are you gonna start being a great fielder? It's like no. People just know that Vladdy's gonna come up and he's gonna rake. That's what he's gonna do. Also, interesting point. You brought up the whole thing about like the mercenary thing, and I think this guy is going to always be able to dodge. This is an overall baseball topic. I know we're getting away from the Cubs, Padres, but I think this is interesting. I want to know what you guys feel like. Another guy that's going to always dodge it because he won a championship as a rookie. But the Juan Soto Mets opening year, and I'm not trying to rip Juan Soto.
To be fair,
I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to rip Juan Soto the player, but I feel like watching him in San Diego that year, which once again, he was bad. Like a lot of Padres fans want to act like he was bad. He was not bad.
Oh, whoa!
But him being a part of two of the most, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was a top 10 hitter and like by any, you know what I mean, like across the board, like really good. Mm-hmm. This year he was really good. He started stealing bases, right? Like I want to see what his defensive numbers are. He was the worst in the league. So there you go. There's something that's important.
Don't bring those up.
Right?
Don't bring those up.
I was like, oh, what was it? He was great. Yeah, he was dead last in range. He's dead last in fielding value with minus 13. So he's terrible. But the thing is like, I don't know if you guys remember this. Like Juan Soto was not a bad fielder when he was younger.
No,
he wasn't. He really wasn't. And also, he's been a part of now two of the most underwhelming teams. Two of the most underwhelming, and in not like of recent memory in baseball history. The 23 Padres.
2023, yes.
That team, and Mike, I don't know how much you know. It is on paper one of the biggest anomalies of the sport. Like 100%. You guys
like the least clutch team of all time or something like
that?
Least clutch team.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Best pitching in the MLB. Just insanely crazy pitching, and honestly, it was just a disaster class. Honestly, it was horrible.
One of the best bullpens. They had the best. Like it doesn't make. If you look at it, it doesn't make sense. Like it's actually insane. And you had multiple. Like your middle infield was Kim and Bogarts, who both in terms of like overall numbers put up really good years.
They're fine. Yeah.
You had a great catcher tandem offensively, like really really good. Because Gary Sanchez had a great year and Camposano had a great year. That was your catchers, like really good. But it's just like it was just one of the biggest anomalies this year. The Mets have, some of the biggest expectations we've seen in such a long time for like, I mean, they've had big expectations lately, but
the Mets at one point were like 48 and 24.
Yes, they had the best record in baseball, or at least in the NL at one point.
I feel
that's what we're kind of getting at, right? Is that Juan Soto was I wouldn't say the anchor of the Padres, but definitely the anchor of the Mets. And it's not his fault because he did have a good year. And yeah, I mean, two of the biggest collapses, not just two of the biggest
the Mets, I think that's just the Mets. They do that.
The Mets do that all the time. Yeah, that's Metsing at its finest.
Is alive and well.
And the Mets also the Mets pitching was also like I remember like
And
when
injured.
when the year started. When the year started, I was like, dude, I don't think the Mets rotation is like good enough. Like, I don't know if they're really
Mhm.
going to be
We
like
talked
that
about
great
that.
of
I
a
remember
team.
that.
We
Yeah.
did say
And
that.
then
Yeah.
we put something out like on Twitter on this or something, and I remember I kept getting like so many. I kept seeing like so many comments about it. Like, this guy's
Dude,
a
we got
fucking
verbally
idiot. Like the Mets
harassed.
have the best pitching. They have the best pitching in the league. And I'm like, dude, I'm like looking at it, I'm like, this is not gonna hold up. Like always felt like that. I was like, it's not gonna hold up. Then they just nosedived. Like so horrible. Also, I don't know if you saw, I think it was August. The Mets had the best offensive month in the history of their franchise this August, and they were like 10 games under 500. They were terrible. Like,
Mhm.
they're just a mess, dude. They're just an
Well, I feel like,
absolute
okay,
mess.
I've, from a Cubs fan point of view, for the last few months, when I'm looking at the stands, I've been looking at, hey, have we caught up to Milwaukee? Are we making progress on Milwaukee? Milwaukee, are we the number one wild card team? I haven't even been paying attention to the final wild card spots in the NL because I knew we were either going to win the Central or be the top one or two wild card teams.
Mhm.
I just, in my head, penciled the fact that the Mets were going to
The
be
Mets were in.
the Mets were in, and then I looked like 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh my God, are they going to like miss the playoffs? And the Reds, credits the Reds, they played well down the stretch. They won the games they needed to win, etc. But I was like, how in the hell? Maybe I'm just not on that New York market. I'm not up to date with, SNY, all that stuff. What the hell happened to the Mets? I mean, I thought they were
Well,
we played them earlier in the year. They were really, really good,
they were
right?
nice,
They were a
yeah.
really good team. As Kate Horton's first start was against the Mets, so I was like, wow, I'm surprised that they totally missed the playoffs. They
No,
were
for
like
sure.
leading their division for most of
Yep.
the year, I thought.
Yep. They
Crazy.
had they had the best record in the NL at one point, and you're totally not wrong. I mean, shoot, not even just you. Up until this last series where the Mets played the Marlins and the Reds play the Brewers, I up until yesterday, game 162, I was set. It's gonna be the Mets. I
Yeah.
was so like for sure it's gonna be the
Mhm.
Mets. There's just no way. And I mean, hey, classic Mets, right? Brewers lose, or I'm sorry, Reds lose. Soto grounds out into a double play. Lindor ends the game on a double play. Marlins beat them 4-0.
And the
Classic
Mets
Mets,
are
man.
so much better than the Reds on paper. It's
Oh,
crazy to me.
for sure. And
Like,
it's not really close,
no,
I
it's
think.
not. That's if I was a Mets fan, I mean, they've been through worse, I'm sure, but just absolutely despicable. That's
It's
all you gotta
bad.
say.
It
Yeah.
was bad. It was
Yeah.
really, really bad. And I mean, we talked about it, man.
Dude,
Pitching was
something,
bad. Go ahead.
yeah, I will say something interesting about the Reds is that the Reds do have like
Hunter
they really
Green
do
and
have the
LeBron.
two frontline starters. Yeah, dude, they're
They
Yeah, they
could
nice.
do
do.
it,
That's
dude.
Hey, if they could take a couple from the Dodgers, I would not complain. We talked about this earlier. I would not complain, man.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, Hunter Green is nasty, and obviously
Problem with Hunter Green though is
Abbott is really good.
he'll give you like, dude, the other day, I don't know if you saw what he did against us. 9 innings, shutout ball. Like I think he was throwing like 102 in his like ninth inning. It was like this guy's a cyborg. He'll give you those
Yeah,
every once in a while, and then it's like, oh, he went 2 innings and gave up 7 runs. Oh, what happened today? So he's
yeah, but
very
usually
inconsistent.
he also gets banged up a lot. I think that's part of it too.
True.
Obviously,
He's
with
very
the
inconsistent,
high
but if
low,
he's on tomorrow, because they play tomorrow too, right? I think everybody
they're
plays
the
tomorrow.
last game. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody
Everyone
Last
plays
everyone
game.
plays
tomorrow.
every day.
Yeah, everyone plays. So if he's on his shit tomorrow, you said 12-0. Hopefully that record stays because I would love to see the Reds knock off the Dodgers early. Because I don't think the Reds are any threat in the National League. I could be eating words in a couple weeks, but I don't think they're any threat to the National League. They would be the team I pick the least to go to the World Series.
Yeah,
Dude, I,
yeah,
I
of course.
I couldn't agree more. Like, I think that I'm already putting the Dodgers against the Phillies.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope we're so wrong.
yeah.
That would be the
And I'll
best
say
thing.
this for both of us. The Brewers are beatable for both of our teams.
Oh yeah,
Like I feel you guys don't get it. I feel like I am a crazy person, okay?
You're
Because
not.
I look at the
No.
Brewers, I look at the Brewers lineup, I look at their starting pitching. Peralta, I get it, right? The Brewers are not what they win 96 games. They're not a 96 win team. I feel like
No,
I'm
I agree.
losing my mind. And they win games because the guy's overthrowing the first baseman. They win games because they turn 3 double plays in a row, right? They win games on the most fluky bullshit thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like it just keeps happening. Eventually their luck is gonna run out, but it just hasn't all year. So I think either one of our teams stack up better than them on paper. I think honestly,
also the pathway that both the Padres and the Cubs have is very like advantageous. Like either way, like I think it's a pretty. I'll say this. Like, so I was talking to my dad earlier today about this, and I was like, because we've been kind of in the boat. Like, I'm not like, and I don't want to come on here and be like sad, but like I'm not like sad. I just am like I really don't have like a ton of faith in the Padres have a deep playoff run. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna be excited. I'm still hoping they win, right? I'm not like gonna lie to you guys. Like, of course, I'm still like it's just naturally you can't like be whatever. But they've just, I don't think the pot for what they finished with 90 wins this year. They haven't felt like that dominant of a team, and a lot of that is because their strengths are in the bullpen. Like they have a lot of strengths where it's like not like fielding, right? Like the Padres are like a good team. Like they do a lot of stuff well, but it's like the lineups had question marks. Definitely been better, super up and down. So it's like you feel like that obviously, but I was talking to him and I was like, the thing is, if they can stay hot, and this is the same way for the Cubs, if they can stay hot, and if Darvish or Cease can be legit options as starters in the playoffs, they have the perfect path to go
Oh
on
yeah.
like a World Series run. And it's the
Yeah.
same thing for the Cubs. It's the same exact thing. The Cubs obviously have been a little, and I mean, don't tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the Cubs have kind of slowed down a little bit as of the last couple months. Like I felt like they were a little bit
Post
better.
All-Star break, they were a worse team. I think the last week,
Yeah,
sweeping the Cardinals to end the year was great, I think, for team morale. But post All-Star break, I mean, it's been a little rough. It doesn't I think I kind of agree with what you're saying for the Cubs. Like, we're a 92-win team on paper. That's really, really good, right? Based on what we did in the second half, we don't feel like a 92-win team. And part of that's just because I think we
exactly.
were just hitting, it was just bombs away in the first half of the year. Everybody was hot. It felt like we were putting up crazy amount of runs. The offense slowed down in the second half, and maybe that's why, but we found ways to win games in other ways. So 92 wins to me, they feel maybe like more of like a 85-win team. But again, that's what's so great about the playoffs. You guys have both talked about it. Once you get your ticket to the dance, anybody's game, right?
Anybody's.
We
Yeah.
just talked about the Reds. If Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo are dominant, they just beat the Dodgers in a playoff series. Like, who would have saw that coming, even a few weeks ago? So
Well, the
that's
cool
why
thing
just
about the Reds too is like if the Reds like the Reds are a team that is really that as the playoffs go along, it gets harder for them to win. Because
yeah,
they're really good. They're really set up to win like a 3-game series or a 5-game
yeah,
series.
best of three.
Turn it into a 7?
Yeah,
Oh. If the
yeah, oh
Reds
yeah,
can somehow just be like the team that just goes out there and just, yeah, we just went out that would be a crazy thing if the Reds went just out of all the playoffs. This would be the most like it's I think a lot more possible. I feel like than people are letting on, but I do think it would be so funny if the Reds went out and they beat the Dodgers and the
dude,
Phillies.
they would do us both a huge favor. They could knock
Huge
off the
favor,
Dodgers
bro.
because then think
Doing
about this, right? Yeah,
doing that though, but doing that is like legitimately like those teams, how good those teams are, is tougher for like the Reds level, like a way bigger like I don't know, like a jump, right? Like a way bigger like accomplishment almost than like like many World Series like
yeah,
championships,
yeah,
like the runs that teams have had to take.
I
yeah.
mean,
No, I
hey,
think that
hell
would
yeah,
be the biggest win in their franchise, man. In what, 20 years?
yeah.
Minimum, like 20 years since Pete Rose,
Yeah.
right? That's
Pete
probably the
Rose
biggest win.
easily, 100%.
So I agree. They would do us both a huge favor. Listen, either one of us win, right? Whoever wins plays the Brewers.
Yep.
I would pick either one of our teams against the
Me
Brewers,
too.
truth be told.
Me too.
You go against the Brewers, then you get the Phillies without Zach Wheeler. Let's not forget, Zach Wheeler is out of the playoffs. And correct me if I'm wrong, Aaron Nola hasn't been the greatest playoff performer. If I could be mistaken on that.
They're
I
still
want to
so
say Aaron
good,
Nola.
though. They're
Yo,
still
he
so
is.
good.
He is.
They're no,
But
not Aaron Nola. I'm just
Here's
talking about the Phillies
here's
rotation
the
in general.
problem. I don't care who's pitching for the Phillies. I don't care what the score is
yeah,
in a Phillies
Kyle
game.
Schwarber, Bryce
yeah.
Harper.
They can go rip off 4 home runs in an inning at any notice.
But we
That's the
can't.
problem
That
with
is
the
true.
Phillies.
We can't.
Yeah.
We can't. That's why we
Phillies,
don't match up well against them.
the Cubs match up
Better, I
interestingly with
think.
the Phillies because I think their lineup can go more tit for tat with the Phillies. But if I have to see Michael Soroka pitching to Kyle Schwarber with guys on base, I think I'm going to throw up. I think I would throw up and probably have to leave the room because I would not be able to watch the TV during that. That ball would be traveling across Philadelphia into Britain.
Oh, easily.
Like
Mhm.
I'm not ready. So I think that's what would like make me shit myself is if close game against the Phillies, our bullpen comes in and Schwarber's up or Harper's up. I feel like every postseason Harper just has an absolute game changing home run. You know what I'm saying? And then that's clipped and it goes viral on TikTok for the next.
You don't got to tell us twice, bro.
Yeah, I'm preaching to the choir. I know if I have to give up a home run to Banana Bread Man in the playoffs, it's going to be a long off season. I'll say that.
It's horrible.
And I like Bryce Harper. I do.
Love him.
I do. Should be a lifetime Cub. We're not going to have that conversation today. He should be a Cub forever. But his dog's name is Wrigley, in case you guys didn't know.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
So, yeah.
Didn't know that.
Cubs fans thought Harper was going to be a Cub for life, man. I'll never forget that free agency. It was rough.
I didn't know that either. That's
crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep. And he was best buddies with Chris Bryant.
Yep. We remember that. They came in around the same time.
We kind of assumed that was just going to happen, but it didn't. So, but I love Bryce Harper, but I don't know. I think that would be the challenge. Is watch the Reds take out the Dodgers and Phillies. Do us a huge favor. Do us a huge favor.
Bad,
Hunter
dude.
Green playoff run for the ages. How about it? No, I don't know.
7 shutty.
Yeah, 7 shutty. Get the Phillies out, and we can play. Who would be their number 3 starter? Not Lodolo. Who would be?
Phillies?
Ashcraft
Abbott.
or whatever his name is.
Probably Abbott.
Abbott's number 2, probably.
Yeah, we play Abbott.
He's been good.
Yeah, you're right.
Good.
Yeah. So
all right. We've been on for a while. Let's wrap this up. Final overall just thoughts on the series. I told you guys my whole thing, which I didn't even know about that stat about the wild card. I think game 1's going to tell you. You guys are going to probably get some text from me. It's probably going to be like really close to the end of that Red Sox-Yankees game. Or, Mike, if the Padres lose, you're not going to hear fucking shit from me. But you're going to definitely...
From me.
Yeah.
You will be hearing from me.
Well, but here's the thing. So the Padres, I don't think they have been overwhelmingly optimistic about their team this year. Their pitching is their pitching is sus, especially for the playoffs, especially for this series. I think the Padres get a lot better as the series get longer. That's a big thing for me because the bullpen, because they have a lot of like solid middle of like relief options for some of these games. This is a really hard series for the Padres. I think it's a very even series, and I think that whoever wins game 1 is going to win the series. I think that's what's going to happen. And I will also say, my last kind of thought is, you brought up like the whole Kyle Tucker thing, right? Is he a Cub? I think for Nick Pivetta, it's the same thing for him. I think this is
$1 million. Give it to Nick Pivetta right now.
Well, the thing is, if Nick Pivetta he's under contract for a few years.
Yeah.
But with how you look at the Padres rotation and stuff, Musgrove's going to be coming back from Tommy John next year. You have a lot of question marks. Maybe you bring back Michael King, whatever. But like Nick Pivetta is set up to be like one of the Padres' premier starters for many years. So this is the big moment. This is the big moment for him. And he also he gets pretty like fired up. He feels like a big game type of pitcher, but he hasn't really got like too much of an opportunity. I don't want to say in the playoffs. Like I want to see his playoff stats. I'll look up real quick. But like that's kind of like my other thought is like, yeah, he has 3 so he has 3 appearances in the postseason. He has a 2.63 ERA and 14 strikeouts and a win over 13 innings. So he's been good. He's been good in the playoffs. He feels like a big game pitcher.
Yep.
Obviously it's his first year like on the Padres, but yeah, man, I think it's all going to come down to game 1. I think it's going to come to who's hot. It's going to be the stars in the lineup, and it's going to be for the Padres. I think
fire off
a
few of my hot takes. What are you thinking? Padres, Cubs, 1, 2, 3. How many games?
I think my honest thought is I think it's going to go 2 games either way. That's my thought.
So your thought is 2 games either way. Winner of game 1 wins the series.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm never going to pick against the Padres. I'm going Padres.
Padres in 2. All right.
Padres in 2.
I'll go Cubs in 2. I agree. Winner of game 1 wins the series. I think tomorrow is absolutely crucial. Cannot overstate how big tomorrow is. I'll give a couple hot takes. Right. Number one, I think the environment at Wrigley is going to make a huge difference. I think we've been yearning for playoff baseball, high quality baseball.
Yeah.
It's our time to shine, right? Cubs fans are going to be out in full force. Say a prayer for my uncle. He will be working security at that game. There's probably going to be a beer snake 10 miles long. Anyways.
Oh, yeah. Given.
Second prediction, and Matt, you're going to love this one. PCA, huge play, whether it's a diving catch, whether it's a home run, whether it's a clearing bases clearing double.
I know what it is. Make a big play. It's 0 for 4 strikeouts, and an error where he pops the ball off his glove into the crowd.
He's gonna Jose Canseco. Yeah, no, yeah. I don't think so. Last prediction, and I was feeling some type of way about this. Yesterday I wasn't as optimistic. Today I am. You saw that video of Matthew Boyd. Matthew Boyd is gonna have the game of his life tomorrow. I'm thinking 7 shutty. I'm thinking maybe 0-1 earned runs, probably 4 or 5 strikeouts, handing it off to the bullpen. Keller, Palencia, seal it out game 1. Wrigley goes fucking nuts. We win game 1. We close it out on Wednesday. That's my prediction. Thank you very much.
If that happens, Mike, I say the Padres fucking blow it up because that would be a fucking disaster, dude. I'll give you a hot take, and then I'll let Isaac wrap it up. My hot take is that this playoff is going to start out fucking ready to go, and I think Fernando's going to lead it off with a fucking bomb.
Ooh.
Not like a home run. I mean a fucking bomb into the out of the fucking stadium because that dude's
gonna hit it under like Clark.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you when me and McConnell went to the Braves-Cubs game, we were sitting in the bleachers. Marcelo Ozuna hit a baseball over our head and onto the street. We were like,
"Yeah,
oh, shit, where's that?"
We're gonna see one of those. That's my. Yeah. That's not about who's gonna win, but I think it's gonna start out fucking crazy.
So you're Padres in 2. You're Padres in 2. I'm Cubs in 2.
Yep.
Be interesting to see it. All right. What are your hot takes? Fire them off.
I'll never go against the Padres. Let me look at the Padres lineup real quick. I'm gonna go.
Somebody said Padres fan sneaks a goat into Wrigley Field. Hey, we're not scared of the goat anymore, man. We're not scared of no damn goat. I'll tell you what. 108 years, we got him. Try it as you might.
I'm gonna go Xander Bogaerts. Has 2 home runs tomorrow.
Oh, damn.
That's honestly an insane take. Probably not going to happen, but we wanted a hot take, and I figured I'm going to give the most ballsy one. Fuck it, dude.
Yeah, that would be something, dude. That would be crazy. Yeah, you're talking about the 2 guys from Boston. The Boston guys pop off, Pivetta and Bogaerts.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Matt Shaw's from Boston. Maybe Matt Shaw gets in on the home party as well.
Oh, you know what would be good, and I want the Red Sox to win. But you know, it'd be good if Bogaerts hit 2 home runs and Pivetta went like 7 scoreless, and the Yankees beat the shit out of the Red Sox. The Red Sox media on Wednesday morning would be like the funniest shit in the world.
God,
it would be amazing. It'd be so funny.
I'm interested to see who wins that series. I might take the Red Sox.
I
might take. Yeah, the Red Sox.
I was talking to Isaac about this. I really wanted to go. Like really wanted to go, but it's not going to work unless the times for Thursday's game totally change. I won't be able to.
No.
Hopefully they do. Hopefully they do, man. But
you guys don't realize 208 for a Cubs game is just so weird. It just feels so bad.
Dude,
and plus, I got to work tomorrow. My boss told me this morning, "Hey, we got a video shoot at 2:00 tomorrow." So I will be bordering on getting fired tomorrow, but it's worth it because there's Cubs baseball on.
I expect it, baby.
Jobs are temporary. 2025 playoff runs last forever. That's what I'm going to end this stream on.
All right. I think this is the first podcast in Fire Talk history where Jake Cronenworth's name was brought up, so I had to give him a quick shout out because no one even said a single word about him. He hasn't really done shit in a while. Yeah, we need Cronengod to have a nice little playoff run. I feel like he's like I think you know how like the whole thing is like how Manny goes is how the Padres go. I feel like it's kind of honestly how Jake Cronenworth goes, but also like him and Manny are kind of always in the same boat. Like they're always either slumping or they're hot together. I feel like so.
Mm-hmm. Love those guys.
All right, guys.
That's it for me.
That's gonna do it. I'm excited.
That's the luck.
Like I said, I'm not watching this
series recap or no.
Fun, man.
It depends how it goes.
Okay, so if the Padres win, you're gonna want me on. If the Cubs win,
if the Padres win, you're more than welcome.
If the Cubs win,
I will be sick that day. I will be violently throwing up, so I will not be available.
All right, guys. Thank you all for hopping on the stream. Talk to y'all soon. Later.